Okay, this is really weird. It's almost an uncomfortable question, but there is an answer for this.
My family all knows what I do, so I don't know that they've watched any of my videos, but they all know what I do.
They're religious, so they wouldn't have come out about it, and that means that they're sinning, so it's like kind of a safe place that I'm in.
Not that I know of, but they all know what I do.
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, they know.
I know that one is found out, which means that she probably stumbled upon it, but she wouldn't admit that she was watching porn. She just knew magically.
The ones that need to know, so they know what to avoid. People have sent my brother my porn, which is weird because why would you do that? Also, he already knows that I do porn. I think that's just rude at that point.
Oh gosh. So I've had a long porn journey. Before I started doing professional porn, I was doing amateur stuff. And I was on this site called godsgirls.com, which is, whenever I was a part of it at least, it was all alternative style girls. Some of them were hippies, some of them really tattooed. And the first time my first set went on the site, I got a call from my dad because apparently he was a member of that site, and that's how he found out that I was doing porn.
I've never been told directly, but I've definitely had family members like message me on my Instagram. I've walked in on family members watching like Pornhub, so I'm sure they've stumbled upon my shit.
I think they all know, like it's like one thing, one person, they say they don't like it, but they keep talking about it. But no one really came up to me with it yet. Just my mom that told me about it. It's okay. You gotta do what you love.
I know that my brother accidentally ran into something of mine and my cousin. I want to say it was Thanksgiving or something last year, but they were like, I can only search for hot blonde girls on Pornhub because you will never be blonde, so I can never dye my hair blonde, or these boys will be traumatized, I'll be traumatized. I really held back on doing a lot of the like stepbrother, stepsister kind of porn because I'm like, oh my dude, my brother would freak the fuck out if he ever saw this, so.
I know my older sister has, because she watches lesbian porn. I shoot quite a bit of lesbian porn, and she's told me like several times when it's happened, like she's like, you know, she's just searching, she's just looking for something hot to get off to, right? And then boom, there I am, boom, there's my pussy. I think everybody else is pretty cautious when searching, but it's kind of hard also because I've changed my looks a lot, so you know, like if you're on Pornhub, you're gonna go search blonde chick gets pounded by a big cock, right? Well, I've been blonde and brunette. It's kind of hard to get away from me. Nobody else has told me that they've stumbled upon me, but I know my sister has for sure.
There is an uncle who worked at a firehouse, and somebody had brought in one of my films, and it was called Fire in the Hole. However, it wasn't about like anything to do with firemen or fires. It was a construction workers movie. But they called it Fire in the Hole, and I'm assuming maybe there was dynamite at some point in the film. So I remember hearing a story from my cousin saying that my uncle was at the firehouse and somebody had brought in this movie. And thank God, I'm so fucking happy about this. He saw the box cover and said, wait a minute. Hold on, and he knew it was me. So he didn't watch it, but everybody at the firehouse was cracking up because they're like, oh my gosh, you know, that's so crazy. You know her? And he's like, well, yeah. So yeah, that was a little bit strange, but thank God he did not watch my shit.
Yeah, my brother follows me on Twitter. We're twins, so like it's not that weird. He texted me this morning and he asked like if I could print out like a picture from the Apex Legends parody and send it to like a friend of his who's a really big fan. It was so funny when I first got into porn. He's like, okay, don't do anything weird like gangbangs or piss. And like I had just done a piss scene the week prior and I was doing my first gangbang like the week after. And I'm like, well, why don't you stay off that part of the internet then, weirdo? And he's like, well, you don't want to know the parts of the internet like I look at, so shut up. So I feel like maybe we're more similar than we realize, I don't know. Sometimes I'll have a dream that he's in and then I call him and I'm like, oh dude, I had the craziest dream. And he's like, I literally had the exact same one and you were in it. So we have like that, but we don't have any of like the creepy stuff you see on Pornhub.
All of my closest family members know what I do, They actually found out because I was on Instagram, which is funny enough, like my mild social media site. So my mom called me one day and she's like, hey, are you prostituting yourself? Like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, I saw your Instagram. It looks like you're prostituting yourself. And I'm like, no, I'm not prostituting myself, but I am doing porn. If it makes you feel better, at least I get tested every 2 weeks and I sign legal documentation and legal paperwork and we exchange IDs and info. She just wants to make sure that I'm being safe and smart about what I do. She can't force me to do something I don't want, and I'm doing what I want. I feel passionate about it. I feel happy. I feel excited. It gives me a drive. When I got my first nomination for the AVN, I called them right away and I was like, oh my God, like, I just got fucking nominated. They're like, what is that? You know, my family's from Mexico. They don't really know what AVN is. They might watch porn. I don't know. But so I called them and told them, and I started crying because the fact that I could even just call them and tell them about my accomplishments and them be accepting of what I do, even if it's not something that they want for me. Nah, that was amazing. That was amazing. Just the fact that I could have that type of interaction with my family. Man, I wish a lot of people in our industry could have that, but I know it's not the case, and I feel for the people that don't. I just hope that one day they'll get to experience what I did, because it's fucking amazing.
Yes, a member of my family has stumbled upon my porn, and I don't think they didn't really stumble upon it themselves. Another family member of mine sent it to them. So I don't know, like, I guess so.
Did you have any feedback from that?
We're highly disappointed, but that's about it.
It was one of my mom's ex-husbands. He was a preacher.
Oh yeah, definitely. My parents are Southern. They grew up real poor, and then they worked their butts off, and now they're kind of like Southern socialite types. So for their youngest son to be a porn guy was very rough on them. Not just because it was a shock, but also for where they're at in life. They're hanging out at the yacht club or a country club, and everybody's talking about their kids, and they're like, oh, our one son, you know, is a lobbyist, and he's also a boat captain, and he's just amazing. Oh, what's your other son do? But I showed up, I came correct for him, like 2-3 years of just birthday cards, showing up for Easter for mom, going to church with mom, doing whatever you can, helping my dad. And eventually they were like, well, he really hasn't needed money for a long time, and he's been doing great in life, and so they just kind of don't ask. I had another porn performer. Her dad was a priest, some kind of a priest that can have kids. I don't know, like a Episcopalian or something. I don't know. But he saw her porn that I put on the internet and died immediately. He had a heart attack and just died in his office. So he was found in his office, in his priestly whatever room, with his daughter fucking him in the ass with a strap on a screen. And that did not go well. It did not go well at all. But technically I didn't upload it, my assistant did. So it's like I made the bullet, but he pulled the trigger. So I don't really think I killed a priest.
Yes, a few. Multiple, so many. Yeah, I like your work, cousin. And I'm like, oh my God, my cousins are freaks. And then I had another one, a recently newly turned 18 cousin who I don't want to imagine he's a freak. I still think of him as a child. But he found out, and then he told his grandma, my aunt, and she was just like, what are you doing watching porno? That's for you guys to deal with. But the cool thing is they didn't act weird at Thanksgiving.
Yes, actually. Before I told my family that I did start porn, I did have a family member that found me before I told them, and they were like, well, they just kept going past it because wasn't their business anyway.
My sister actually called me out as I was saying bye to her at her baby shower. I hugged her and I was like, okay, bye. And she whispers into my ear, bye, Lily Lane. And I was like, what the fuck? And this was like literally only like 2 months after I shot my first scene. So she had to have seen obviously my one and only first scene, because that's all I had shot. And I remember, how did that happen? I've literally shot one scene. Like, what the fuck? So I don't know if if she personally stumbled upon it with like her dude, or if someone she knew like mentioned it to her. Cause my first scene was for Burning Angel, and I don't feel like that's something she would really be into watching. But I could be totally wrong. I don't know what kind of porn my sister likes, but it just doesn't seem like it would be up her alley kind of stuff. But yeah, that's all I know for sure. I know my family members do know I do porn and stuff, but no one's ever been like, oh, I saw you on this or that. Oh, actually, my stepmom's mom, so my step-grandma, I posted a picture, this is maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, on my Facebook, and it's a picture of me and 2 male performers, but we look very professional in the picture. So I wanted to post it because it just looked cute. We looked cool. And she's like, oh, she told my stepmom, oh, did you see, blah, blah, blah. She posted her picture with the 2 guys, and I clicked on it, and it took me somewhere it probably shouldn't have took me. So she kind of stumbled upon that as well. No, it's just the picture, that I posted, so I didn't realize it was a link, so I think she clicked on the link.
My cousin, who knows that I do porn, he's my step-cousin, we're open with each other about our lives, but still family, like keep it safe sort of thing, texted me one time, and he was like, God damn it, can you stop being on the front page? Sorry.
I've never had a family member stumble upon my porn, but my dad found my Twitter account, like when they found out I did porn, which I think is more embarrassing because not only did he see me naked, but he saw all my terrible tweets. It's just all of my jokes, and I was like, oh, I'm doubly humiliated about this. He said, I can't believe you're Kate Kennedy, and this is very disappointing, and you went to college, and I was like, yep. But I didn't go to grad school. Didn't work out.
A family member actually has stumbled upon my porn. There was like a meme going around of me ruining this guy's waves. So it's a black thing. He's like a black guy, and they like their waves. They put like product, and like they have particular brushes, and they love like the wave look. He's eating me out, and I'm like rubbing his head, and he like fixes his waves. You can tell he's like pissed, and they made a fucking meme about it, and now I fuck up guy's hair. My cousin called me and was like, wow, I can't believe that was you. Jesus Christ.